Are you all able to hear me properly? Can anyone respond, please? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Manohar, we can hear you, but there is some difference. I think it's better to mute.
Okay. But my voice is clear at least, right? So let me mute you all and just give me message here how it is now. Okay, good. And then I think Radhika, maybe problem at your end. Please check the mics. Okay. So we have given all the semicolons at each end of the statement. Now let's execute. You see, in the last log it was shown as created, and now if I restart, it indicates that a restart in progress. So this is the log table which tracks the status of this fast export until it executes successfully, tracks the information. So it says it is a restart in progress. Now we can export more indicators, format, input error in the export command at position 20. What is this error? Colon. So this one. See, the out file, the file name equal to is not accepted here. So out file space the file name. Yeah, these are general mistakes what we do. Still I do. No problem. Let's see, for multi-script also no need to give any equal to. Just remember no equal to here. File space and it is out file the file name. The file keyword is also not required. That's where the problem was. Out file space the file name. ML script space script name. Yeah. Save this. So still it says it is in restart. It says some error here. Expected field but found indicators. Okay, what is the mode we have to define? Record or field mode. Okay. What we generally define. Got the message here. Okay. Record. So it is default, right? Let us see in multi-load what it defines. It is indicators or it is field mode or record mode we have to mention. Let's say record. See error semicolon was not found somewhere. Maybe this. Sorry. This is our script. So begin export sessions 4 dot export out file, the file name, mode record, format fast load. Any spelling mistakes you see here? Otherwise let us reduce our statements, which is default, and we'll try to add one by one. Okay, let's see. Where the semicolon is missing. I'm expecting here. Okay, so we should not terminate here because it is expecting a select statement also. Okay. Let's see the sample script. Yeah, you see the sample script here. Log table, run file, variables, sessions, dot export out file, file name, mode record, ml script, script name, and that's it. Did we make any mistake here? Compare. The log table, the logon statement. Okay, it is run file there. And begin export sessions 4 dot export out file, file path. Okay, don't give a semicolon here. And all are default ml script, and select star frame and end export. See here, they're expecting semicolon for everything, and we are not habituated to that because of the btick habit. Okay, so better you have the best practice of using semicolon in all the scripts, because in btick it is not mandatory, but it is okay. So if you habituated to semicolons in each and every statement, even it is a utility command or SQL command, it will be easy. So now it is doing something. See, export. Now log is generated with 6 KB. Okay, so because of this semicolon, it was throwing us a problem. Now everything is done. See, this is the data file, and this is the multi-load script, which is auto-generated and which uses the same data file which is exported through fast export to load into a table called this table, auto-generated table. It won't know in which table you want to load, so it has generated randomly the table name. Once you are confirmed with the table to which you want to load, you can change this table name and you can execute this multi-load script. It will automatically load the data from this data file to the table. We'll see that later. But for now, it has generated you the multi-load script. You no need to write it from scratch. It has given you the whole information which is required to load this data file. Whatever you want to do, okay, you can. And what you need to do is just change this table name and database name if necessary. Just submit it. We'll see that later. So in the fast export, what are the other features? Now you can include any other non-default parameters like mode record. Okay. If you don't specify, it is indicator mode. Now I am specifying record mode. We don't make any much difference, but the null value reservedness will be changed. And format fast load, you can include all the properties you want, and you can mention different tables. Get to see two table information exported into the same data file. If you have different data in cust1 and cust2, you can see that. Anyway, it is a record mode, so you cannot read the data. We have to believe it by seeing the counts in the log. The data is more than earlier. So it accepts two queries within the same output file to be generated. And now I want to generate one more file. What I can do? I can just copy and paste the whole statements here. Just change the output file name, the multi-load script name, and the table name. Maybe one table, and that is 78 yesterday what we loaded with fast load. So what are outputs of this particular fast export? First data file and the corresponding multi-load script, the second data file and the corresponding multi-load script. You can change the modes. Total 32 records into the first data file, and with the multi-load script it is not taking indicators. We are making something. Fields. Message. Let's try this. It is asking for fields. No, not taking. To make it default, or if I make default, what is the multi-load script do? Oh, it was not generated. Mode is let me close all this. Mode got. Let us make it default and see. See. Now stated the second data file and the multi-load script. And here it has generated one more table and the second data file to want to load. What about this one? Still 0. So it's taking the defaults. Format fast load. Check with mode getter. Okay. So now it has generated. So the keyword what we need to use is indicator. I'm using indicators. Okay, the mode is indicator. The format is fast load. This you can switch between record mode or the indicator mode. You can export multiple files. So here this exercise is to show you multiple table data can be exported to a single file, and multiple files you can export to a single fast export. Okay. So now if you want to have some variables added, how we can do that? Dot set some variable like gender. I want to use it as gen here, and I want to set this to a gender called male, and I would like to export only the male gender data from customer. So where what is the column name in the customer table? Gender equal to, you have to enclose the character variables within quotes and the variable name with the ampersand gen. With this you'll export only. Let me save this as to fast export 3. I am removing these things and we are looking at some other features here. Accepting the variables. Okay. So this is to observe how the variables can be declared. Set the variable name to the value and use those variables wherever you want with the ampersand. Save this. It is 3fxp. Okay. And let us change these names also. Third first export. See the log. Input error. The set command at position 60. So in set command we are doing some mistake. What is the mistake? Anyone can guess? Yeah. Good. Close. Set. Semicolon. Save this. Run it. Now see log. Okay. The query what we have given in the script is this, and it has replaced the variable value with male and exported how many records? Indicators mode. Block size is 64.330. See, 10 total records written to the output file. But how many records are there? First one, total 16 records, in which 10 records are of male. Okay, so only those male records got exported with the condition what we have given here. Okay, later, if you want to change it to female, you can change it. So even you use this variable 100 times in the same script, it will be impacted with a single change in the declaration part. Okay. Now, I would like to declare one more variable. Dot set income. The income. Income is the column name here. And I want to set INC as a variable to some 20,000. Right? Within male, who all are having more than 20,000. So one, only one. Let us make it 15,000 at least. You will get two records export. 15,000. This is semicolon, and I want to add it. And INC equal to ampersand the variable name. Observe here, single quotes should not be here, but single quotes should be existing for the character variables. Income equal to INC. Now see this. Not aware. Unbalanced quotes. What are those? Where income equal INC. Let me place it like this. What is this message? Oh, there is no space. Where income? Oh, here I have given a single quote. That is a mistake. Yes, it could be any place, but here I have given a quote which is not closed. That's where it's getting error. So just save this. See how many records we're exporting? 0 total records. What is our condition? Your income equal to 15,000. Okay. Condition should be where income greater than 15,000. Now the SQLs are converted. 10 total records written. Alright, 15,000. Oh, it is all 1,30,000. Okay, so that is what you can say. Some other condition. Okay, so you got the concept, right? You can pass the variables. You can execute them within the scripts. Now here, if you set the variables, you are able to set only one set of the variables. Okay, and here these variables are hard coded. Once you schedule the script in production, every day they will export the data of male and which has income greater than 15,000. After some days, after 1 month or 2 months, if they wanted to see the income which is more than 1 lakh, so this is the situation again. They wanted to see the salary which is more than 1 lakh. Then what you need to do, you already schedule your script in production by having these hard-coded values in the variables, and every day it is executing with these values. And after 1 month the requirement got changed where you need to export data only if the income is more than 1 lakh. Then what is our approach? We have to check out the file from production scripts and then make this change, test it, and then get all the sign-offs and then migrate it into the production. So this is all the whole SDLC we have to follow if you want to change any production scripts, isn't it? But if we have control on these variable values without changing the script, it would be easy to control what type of data we want to export for that day without changing the script. How we can make it? Okay. So there is command called accept, which accepts external file which holds the variable values and assign it into the variables declared in the script. Okay. So here we want to accept the external file which has the values. Let's see. So this is the way how we can accept the variables from the file name. And what is this file? This is the parameter file which contains these values. Okay, the city name as Los Angeles and the zip code. Okay, just a moment. Here I see a question. Can you show the date variable sample? Here we are exporting the data, so you don't get any error whatever format of the date it is. Okay, here we are exporting the data into the file, so file will accept anything, right? So it won't give you any error. But if you are loading the data, then the formats may be mismatched in the data file and the RDBMS data table. That's where you get the date errors. But in fast export, we are exporting into the data file, the flat file, where it will allow any of the data type. But once you are loading that, you have to take care. Okay, so in the fast loads and multi loads, you may have the dates, but in fast export you don't have the date issues or any format issues because we are exporting to the flat file and it won't define any rules in the flat file. Okay. So here, to accept the variables, first you have to create the parameter file with the values and ensure your cursor is at the end of the file. That means at the first record of the next record, at the last record's bottom, and then use this pattern dot accept the variable names from file name. Let's try to do that. Let me create a parameter file. Param.text, and in these parameters I would like to give the same values, 1 lakh whose salary is more than 1 lakh, and give a tab here, and then within quotes the character variable. Now let us give female and just press one enter key, and if you press down arrow here, the cursor should not move from this position. This is the correct format of the file. The first variable tab, and the second variable, if it is a character, enclose it in quotes, otherwise don't enclose within the quotes, and just give a single enter key. Save this, and in this export We write it as fourth fast export. I would like to accept dot accept. First variable is income and the second variable is gender from the file space the file name from dot text. So it will read the file as a tab delimiter and it will assign the values to the corresponding variables, and those variables will use the values by substituting in the queries. We'll use the fourth multi-load script and fourth fast export. See the log. The log file has been created. Accepted the variables income and gender, and this is our query with ampersands for the variables, and it has substituted with the values which we passed in the parameter file. Okay, 1 lakh and the female. So processing completed. With this condition, only one output file is generated along with the corresponding multi-load script. Like this we can control this. Now if there is any change after 3 months or after 1 month, to export the data of only some 70,000, what I can do, I can make the change here, and I wanted to make the male, I can change here, save this. Okay, for this file I have permissions, it is not in production, it is only a parameter file, and the script which actually executes every day, this is productionized and we cannot change anything. Now I didn't change anything here, but I have controlled my data which has to be exported. And now you see, income greater than 70,000 and gender equal to male. So did I change the script? No, the script is as it is, but the data I controlled by changing the parameter values in the parameter file where I have access on it. But on the production script I don't have access, so I don't make any changes, but I can control the functionality. Okay, this is one way of accepting the variables. Okay, so here there are questions. Did I mute you all? Okay, I have unmuted. Any questions?
Yeah, in the where statement we had a date filter. Would that be like declared as a character variable?
Which one?
Like if in the SQL where statement I had another filtering needed by dates, where date is greater than something, so that
Okay.
something would be a character.
Okay, here, yeah, the date you can use it as character. Okay, let us see that. Let's confirm. We have a date here, right? JOD. Okay, and JOD is greater than 2001 01 01. Let me remove these conditions for a moment. Just we are looking at the date condition, how we can give a date condition. So it should be like this. Save this.
Manohar, and where and?
Okay.
You got to remove and.
Sure. Thank you.
And one more thing, do we need this time? We can comment it out, right?
Which one? The accept?
Parameter file.
Yeah. Can, I mean, anyway, we are not using it. Yes, you can remove it. There is some error. It does execute in SQL Assistant. The format. Here, see the show table. So here I made different format to show some other exercises. Okay, so it has to taken as an integer. So internally it stores as an integer with this format, the default format. Okay, so it will do a internal casting and it will execute. Okay, if it is in the same format, you may use it as character, but it will internally cast it. If it is in different format, use it as an integer itself, so that the format will be understood, like DDYYY, which it will do an internal casting when you compare with the joining date. So use this. Because of the formats. Sixteen total records written. Okay, so don't use quotes when the formats are different, what you are giving here and what we are having there.
Can you please show us the multi-load script which got generated by default for this date format? Because the multi-load is going to define the table structure, right?
Yes. See here. This is the multi-load script which is generated for the data what we have exported. Okay, so let us try to understand and we'll see. Yeah, we executed and we'll load it. So let us understand the multi-load script first. Multi-load also starts with the log table. So dot log table, and you have to mention the log table where it will track the status of the load performance, the load status. Then the actual logon statement. Whatever logon you used in the fast export, it will use the same logon here to the same host with the same user ID. And whatever database you use, it uses the same database. So these are the variables which are set for database names. Dot set the variable name to the value. So it is using the retail as the target table database. And in the work table, we have a work table. In the multi-load, we have a work table. What is the purpose of this work table? When you are loading the target table, what is the lock applied on the target table? It is the write lock. So when a write lock is there, no other user can get access on these tables for read purpose or for write purpose, whatever. The restriction on this table will be increased, so other users cannot attain any other locks on this work table, on the target table. So instead of locking the target table for a longer period, in multi-load what it does, first it uses a work table with the same structure of the target table, and it will load the work table first with the data which is getting it from the file. And once this work table is loaded with the data, then it will do a table to table load into the target table, which is faster than the file load. Right? So it uses a intermediary table called work table to load the data first, and after work table load complete, then it loads the actual target table from the work table. So only the period when you are moving data from the work table to target table, the target table is locked for the write purpose. Till then, during the work table load, you can still access the target table. So the availability of the target table is increased by having a intermediate work table population in the multi-load script. And coming to the next tables, the ET tables, the error table and the unique violation table, which are similar as of the fast load. In fast load also we have two error tables. One is the error table which captures the constraint based errors, and we have the UV table, that is unique violation error table, which is populated in the next phase. Okay, so and in fast load, how many phases we have during the load? Can anyone? How many phases we have seen in fast load? Two phases, right? But here in multi-load we have 5 phases. We are going to see what are those 5 phases and what it does in the each phase. But here we have 5 phases in multi-load. Okay, in the last but one phase, this unique violation table is populated. In the third phase, the ET table is populated. Okay, we'll see what are the names of the phases and what it does. But these error tables are populated in third phase and fourth phase correspondingly. Okay. And for all these tables, it has declared the database as retail, where you have access to create these tables. And then finally, it set the target table as a variable with the table name into which you want to load into. As it doesn't understand in which table you want to load, it has generated a random number. But if you want to load it into a particular table, just replace with the table name. So here I am creating 79. Okay, let me create this table later, and we'll load this data into this table 79 in the retail database. Okay. And then, so up to here, what all we declared? We have declared the log table, we have declared the logon statement, we have declared all the variables which we are going to use in the rest of the script, and now we are going to declare the target table and the work tables, error tables, everything. So this is the actual declaration statement of the database and tables. These are only the variables which are assigned with some values. So what is the declaration statement here? The begin import mload. Okay, in multi-load, the statement is dot begin import mload. Okay. And here mention what is the table to be loaded. Here what is this? Ampersand dbase underscore target table, which is the variable declared here. Dbase target table is retail. Right? So ampersand of dbase target table represents the retail, and then ampersand target table here. This is the target table. So retail dot cust 79. Here you see 2 dots. Okay? When you are using 2 variable names, one dot is to separate the database name and the table name, and another dot is syntax. Okay, you have to separate 2 variables with a dot, and this dot is the actual separation between the database and table name. Okay, so we have declared the begin import multi-load target table here, and in multi-load we can load 5 different tables, okay, even though they are populated with the data. What is the constraint in fast load? You can load only one table, and that target table should be empty. So that is the constraint for fast load to load through the data. But here in multi-load, you can mention 5 target tables. They may be empty or populated. So that is a feature of the multi-load again. Okay, so you can mention 5 tables here. That's why the keyword tables says you can mention more than one table which can be loaded. Begin import mload tables, the table name. And for each target table, we should have a work table and 2 error tables. If you observe, for the target table, we just prefixing the WT underscore work table to identify the work table. And for the error table, we are using the same target table but with a prefix of ET underscore. So ET underscore cust79 is the error table 1 and UV underscore cust79 is the second error table. Okay, so for each target table we have to mention one work table and one error table, two error tables. And if I have 3 tables to be loaded or populated with the data, how many tables totally I have to declare here? I have 3 target tables. How many total tables I have to declare in the begin import mload section? For one table, it is 4 total tables I have to declare. So we have 3 target tables, 3 multiplied with 4, 12 tables I have to declare. If I have 5 tables, 5 multiplied with 4, 20 tables totally I have to declare here, along with the work tables and error tables and target tables. Okay, so this is the declaration section of the tables what we are going to use for the load purpose in the rest of the scripts. Okay, so here we completed the declaration of the tables, and now we are going to declare the file properties.
Hey Manor,
Mhm.
can you explain again the double dots between the variable names?
Okay, so here this is the variable, right, and this is another variable, and we are combining these two variables. We have to use one dot. Okay. And this dot is to actual separation between the database name and the table name. Retail dot cust79. The result of this particular whole syntax would be the retail dot cust79. One dot is for the syntax, one dot is the actual separation between the database and table.
Okay.
So once we complete the table declarations, we start with the layout of
But
the
what does that
data file.
import mean? Both of them look like variables.
Which one?
In the begin import, after that the 4 tables. Yeah, after that the 4 tables that we have, it looks like it begins with ampersand and the other one also begins with ampersand. So it looks like both are variables. So what is being passed to what? I'm not clear.
Okay, so this is the variable dbase underscore target table. What is the value of this? Can you tell me?
Retail.
Retail. Okay, and what is value of this?
Cust79.
Cust79. So it will be replaced as retail dot cust79 when we execute it. So
Oh,
I am
database
declaring,
dot table.
yeah,
Okay.
the tables, the database name dot the table name.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Similarly for all the tables, work table database, that is retail again here, dbase work table retail, and the table name is cust79 and which is prefixed with WT, so it will be replaced as retail dot WT underscore cust79. So all these are declarations. You no need to create any table. Multiload will create during the execution. Only the target table you should have in place, but all the tables you just declare. It will take care of creation of the tables. Okay, should I go ahead?
Yeah.
So here we start the description and the declaration of the file formats. So here the keyword what we use to declare the file is the dot layout. Okay. Dot layout, and it is a user defined name to declare the file structure. So all the structure whatever we define is assigned to a name data in layout. So in rest of the script, wherever you want to mention this whole structure, you no need to mention the whole structure, but you have to mention this name so that it can understand, okay, this is the layout to be used. And what is the format? The mode of the file is indicators. So the mode what we used while exporting. So, indicator mode we used. So the same mode we have to use to import also. So it has used the same mode, indicators. And
Minor.
yeah,
Sometimes there is indicators, sometimes the indicator.
no, that's what my confusion was. Actually, in fast export, you have to mention indicator. In multi-load, you have to mention indicators.
Oh, okay.
So that's all the dependency. I mean, see, Teradata Corporation, each utility is developed by each developer. So they use their own standards. They didn't have the standards what they have to maintain uniformly across all the utilities. That's where our confusions are. As in some scripts it is different, in some script it is different. So it is all about syntax. If you are perfect about the logic and functionality, these are syntax. So in your organization, your client place, you will have these scripts already generated. So you have to use the existing scripts for the syntax purpose and just configure it. That's it. Don't bother about the syntax. You will get the template and you are going to make the changes as per the new requirements or changes. So here the syntax in multi-load is indicators, and in fast export it is indicator, and in VTech what we used for the indicator mode, and remember indic data, right? So this is all the words we have to remember. Indic data in VTech and the others indicator or indicators. And the fields. Okay, I'm taking more time I think. Okay, let me allow 5 more minutes. I'll complete this description of the script and we'll see tomorrow the execution part. Okay. So let's complete this in 5 minutes. Okay. And we are declaring all the fields. The field name, it uses all the field names from the table which you are going to export through fast export. So in fast export, whatever table you declare for the export, from that table it will take the table names from the data dictionary of the table and will use this. Then you see the number here, it is the starting position of the field in the file. For the first field, it is the first position in the file, and this is the data type. Okay. And then the second field is customer name, and the position is the 5th byte. Why the 5th byte? Because integer is of 4 bytes. So after completion of this 4 bytes, the 5th byte is to start the customer name. Okay. And now the data type of the name is the varchar of 20. And the next field is the joining date, and the position of this joining date is not known because the previous field is varchar. So it may have 10 characters sometimes, it may have 20 characters sometimes, 15 characters sometimes. So it is not sure from which position the next field starts, right? So we mention it as star. Don't know because it depends on the data occupied by the previous field, which is of data type varchar of 20. So Teradata will take burden of searching where it has already started, and then it will mention the data type. And whenever one varchar encountered, then all rest of the fields should be made as position star only, because this all depends on the length of this particular varchar. So joining date as date, and then gender, character of 1, short name, character of 15, and income of decimal 10, 20. So it has taken the metadata of this table from the data dictionaries and prepared the layout also for you. Okay. So after the layout of the file and the format of the file, the mode of the file, now it is the time to declare the database management language, the DML. The DMLs which has to be declared. So .dml, the label. Okay. Insert DML. So this is a user defined name. You can use anything. Insert underscore DML, the label, and whatever DMLs you declare with this name, it is assigned to this. So whenever you want to use this DML, you no need to write the whole DML, but it is enough to mention this label. Similarly, this one, right? Layout also we have defined with the data in layout, and whole this layout, the indicators and the fields, everything is assigned to this name. Okay. So here insert DML is a label and the DML is assigned to that name. What is the DML here? The actual import statement. Insert into the target table the values. It is one form of insert statement. Each variable, whatever we declared, is used to assign the actual table column. This is one form of insert statement. Insert into the target table the values. So up to here, everything is the declaration, isn't it? The log table declaration, the
Manohar,
log
no
on
need to give
declaration.
values.
Pardon? Yeah, this is a
No
separate
need to give
syntax.
values.
This is different syntax.
Okay.
If you see the equal to, generally we don't give this, right? We give values and this colon cust id comma colon cust name comma colon JOD. But this is separate syntax of insert statement. You can use this also in Teradata. Okay. So up to here, what all we did? Declaration of all the parameters which we require. The tables, log on statements, the variables to be used, the tables to be populated, the file layout, and the DMLs to be used to load the data. And now the actual multi-load statement is this. This is the only multi-load script. Rest everything is the declarations. So let us understand the actual multi-load script here. So what it says, import the data file, input file from this path in the format of the fast load, which we declared while exporting the data, right? Format of fast load. So it uses the same format. If you use binary or something here, it will also show binary and text here. Okay, but generally we use the fast load format. Fast load, and then layout is data in layout. That means whatever data we have in this data file, that should be read in the format of data in layout. That means this. Okay. So in this format, read the data in this file and then apply the insert DML. What is this insert DML? This. Okay. So here we are just using all the declarations and asking multi-load to import the data from this file in the fast load format by using this layout and apply the insert DML. That is this. That's it. And mload. It completes loading into. So we have one more time. Just would like to create the table. Create table retail dot cust 79 as retail dot cust 1 with data or with no data, whatever it is. If you have multi-set table, it will load one more set of the same data. So now how to execute it? You use mload, and then the script name 4_ml script. Right? You see 4_ml script and the log log text. Okay, this is the log. Let's try to understand. Log table has been created. Oh, we didn't change the target table name, so it failed, saying the table not exist. I think we didn't save it. So let us save this. Cust 79, and we created cust 79. Okay. So let us execute now. Now it says the restart in progress. Restart in progress because we have fixed the problem. I've changed the table name. Has taken, see here the phases, the initial phase, transaction phase, DML transaction phase, and then the acquisition phase started. Refresh the log. During the execution I open. So initial phase, transaction phase, the acquisition phase, which it has acquired 16 records, and the application phase where it has inserted all the 16 records, and cleanup phase, it has dropped all the error tables and work tables. Finally return code is 0, that means success. If I see the data, I created with no data and I have loaded with multi-load. So just let me see the data here. All the 16 records which I exported through fast export, and the multi-load script which is generated as an output of fast export, I used it and I loaded the data into the other table. Okay, you may change the host name and server names, user names, database names, anything, but you can migrate the data. This is how to use the multi-load script generated as an output of the fast. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll see the different phases and what are the activities and the advantages, disadvantages, and multi-deletes, everything in tomorrow's session.
Manohar, how to create a fast load file?